for me, and a lot of people, of our background and that look like us, we don't really have entrepreneurs around us, or just even for the sake of to know what that actually means. Growing up, an entrepreneur to me was somebody owning a lawn service or like the foreigners that owned all the gas stations and hair stores. That was like, it wasn't me starting a tech company or, it wasn't Steve Jobs, that was like foreign. He just was the CEO of Apple. Like you didn't look at him as an entrepreneur that Apple was once a startup and all those things. So like, how did you, I mean, was that something you grew up around or like,
It,
how did you get
no,
around
no,
to it?
I did, and it's a good question because it helps with the uniqueness on how I grew up, right? So I grew up in East Palo Alto, California, which
Oh,
is
that's the heart.
right. It is, but it wasn't right. And what I mean by that is that East Palo Alto, California, was the murder capital of the United States in 1992, but it's
Mhm.
proximal to Stanford. It's near Palo Alto, California, because it's next door to Palo Alto, California, but they're in two different counties. So they're really two different cities. And so for me, I grew up in an environment where it was predominantly Black, Hispanic, Polynesian. I never went to a school with, I think there was one white person in my class my whole life in middle school from K through eighth. Uh,
That's wild.
and so, but again, this is in East Palo Alto.
Yeah.
And so for me, I used to always say like you kind of seen the haves and have-nots and the disparity between rich and poor really, really right there in front of you. And so for me, I didn't necessarily see it amongst people who looked like me, but being proximal to that, being able
Yeah.
to be not too far from Stanford and see the tech giants and see what was out there. I was able to see kind of what I didn't have and what people like me didn't have, but also seeing that it was something that you can do. And so I think, getting the opportunity because I played college football to go to a private high school in Mountain View, California, which wasn't too far from Google, and being
Mm.
exposed to that let me know what was out there. Didn't let me know immediately, that was something that I seen other people doing, but also, being blessed to have, parents in my life that did a lot of different things. We talk about doing too much. My mom was, working with in the government. She was city council. She was an activist. She was doing all those type of things that I was able to see at an early age. My dad was active in the community, coaching football, doing all those different types of things. So I knew what I was capable of doing.